Hello Steelers, and welcome to this very quickly put together bench report. I didn't think I was going to be able to get one out this week because I've been very busy. I didn't do one last week, and I'll definitely not be able to do one next weekend because this week coming, I'm going to be going over to Germany for work, so I won't get a chance really by the time I've got back to put a bench report together. Also, I won't have done anything the next week anyway. So I'm just not going to be able to, there's no point updating you. But because of the last couple of weeks have been a bit quiet, I thought I may as well at least try and get one bench report out before Christmas anyway, because I don't think I'll get another one out before then. So I thought I may as well at least make this one like a wrap up for Christmas at least. Obviously there'll be some more, over Christmas and things. So any painting I do over Christmas, I'll show you that as things are going along. But as I say, this is kind of like a pre-Christmas, probably final bench report before Christmas. So as I say, I've not had it. I've had 2 weeks. We were away last weekend, so I wasn't able to paint much then. Anyway, we're in Manchester. I'll talk a little bit more about that later on. But before that, I actually painted another of the light regiments that Warlord had sent me. You get 2 battalions basically in a box of these. So this is the 51st Light Regiment. They're already on the 52nd in their buff cross belts, and this is the 51st. These are wearing white cross belts, so they're so slightly different, but it's just another battalion of light infantry for the British in the epic range. I was quite pleased with these. I was happy with how these turned out. So that's there were another light regiment, the 71st, the Scottish ones. They basically have a little tartan band around their shakos, but there's only 2, as I say, battalions in the box that you get from Warlord, so I was only able to do the 52nd and 51st in these. But I also then turned to some more French cavalry. This time the heavy stuff. So this is the 2nd Regiment of Dragoons, and I've always liked the Dragoons because I like their green and red uniforms, the green tunics with the red front part of it. These are really nice, and the gold helmets and things. I think it was a Dragoons jacket that Napoleon wore when he was out on campaign. You'll see him in his famous jacket. I'm fairly sure it was a Dragoon one. I'm sure somebody will tell me in the comments it's wrong, but I have a memory of it being the Dragoons. But again, really nice figures again from Warlord. More 15mm stuff. These really, just adding to that epic pile of stuff that I've already got. And then this week, I was able to actually turn back to even more French, and this time French infantry, but it was the Guard. These are Grenadiers. This is the 1st Battalion of the 2nd Regiment of Grenadiers. So I wanted to do these so I could give them the flag as well. So I just turned, so this is the 2nd of the 3 sprues that you get in the Grenadiers, the old Guard box set that comes from Warlord. So I've got one last sprue of these, and I'm not sure what to do with them, whether to do them as another Grenadiers or maybe do them as Middle Guard, just another Middle Guard unit. I think I'll probably go with the latter just to break it up. What I do have then is left over is the Marines and the other bits and pieces. But I also painted up one of the 12-pounder guns as well to go with these guys, and the commander as well that comes with the set. So you will end up with 3 12-pounders, which is pretty much a battery of most sets of rules. Or you could break them down into individual guns if you really wanted to, but I won't. I will brigade them together as 3 guns, or battery them together as 3 guns, and then the commander, I'll probably use him either as an ADC or just as a commander himself, a brigade commander, depending on which set of rules that I am using. And obviously, since we were away last weekend, I didn't get any gaming done apart from down at the club. I didn't get to go to the club the week before because we went to see Mo Gilligan in concert, doing his stand-up routines in Manchester on the Thursday. So I didn't go to the club then. But this week, just gone, Dex and I played another game of Chain of Command version 2. It was a play test. It was nothing to do with a campaign. We just wanted to play one of the new scenarios or the reworked scenarios in Chain of Command, and this was the probe scenario. Slight difference to the one that is in the core book as it is in version 1. Basically, the attacker decks, in this case of the Soviets, has to get one of his units off my table edge as a defender and also capture a jumping off point. But there also added jeopardy of the countdown timer, which basically I can trigger as a defender when I've spent 2 chain of command dice, so like 6 points on each chain of command dice. Once that's happened, I can trigger the countdown timer, and then that basically means that there is a finite amount of time left in the game to get the objectives done. As it happened, Dex was unable to get those objectives done, so it was a victory for me. It was a very Pyrrhic victory because I took very heavy losses. One unit was pinned, another unit was broken, I lost my senior leader. It was just a basic German platoon with I put in a red dice as a support option, which is a new support option you can do in version 2. So it was basically platoon versus platoon, but he was absolutely kicking me. There's quite a few close assaults. We were just trying quite a few bits and pieces out, really, as much as anything else. But yes, he was unable to actually capture the objectives or even get a unit off table. He'd actually forgotten about the last thing, and it was only right at the very end that he started moving his units towards that table edge. So yeah, it was a defender's victory because he'd failed his objectives, basically. As I said, I mentioned it, we went to Manchester last week, apart from the the reasons we went for, which were the 2 gigs. Well, my wife went to see Idols, we both went to see Mo Gilligan, but in the daytime we wandered around Manchester. We went to the art gallery, and it's free, like most art galleries across the country, which is always good. But I saw the original of Balaclava by Lady Butler, and also, which is a terrific picture. There's a lot of emotion in it from all the guys, and I think I mentioned it before, I saw Scotland Forever recently at the Leeds Art Gallery, which is one of my favourite paintings, but Balaclava is fantastic as well, just because of the amount of things that are actually happening in such a small space. And I also saw as well the Funeral of a Viking painting, which the original of which I'm a massive fan of Bathory, as some of you know. I'm a massive fan of their album Hammerheart, which used that painting as its cover. I mean, it's completely and utterly historically incorrect, Vikings with horns and stuff, but it's really evocative and brilliant to see it in the flesh, so to speak, and a great picture. I spent quite a bit of time just looking at it and absorbing it, really. So a couple of recommendations there. Apparently as well, you've also in the same gallery, but we missed it, and I think it must be on the 3rd floor because we didn't go there, is Ney's Retreat from Moscow, and I didn't realise that until afterwards, otherwise I would have gone and had a look at that as well. So 3 paintings in there you can go and check out in the Manchester Art Gallery, and also the rest of the gallery is great as well, well worth checking out. As I say, this was very quickly put together, so I do apologise to Patreons because I didn't get this out to them beforehand. I normally do, but this one I didn't. I'm just going to put this out basically as a video on Sunday. But what I wanted to mention is Wargames Illustrated have now put out their poll for the year for the best figures, the best manufacturers, the best customer service, all the usual jazz. But they have at the very bottom of it a free text box which allows you to put in your hobby heroes. Now, far be it for me to suggest that you put in something like, I don't know, Storm of Steel Wargaming into that box and then press OK. But, it might be something you might want to consider. What I'll do is I'll put a link to that in the description down below, so you can follow that through and, vote on who you think are the best out there. And as I say, it's a free text box, so you can put what you want in there, and it does mention YouTubers in the blurb. So I'll leave it at that after a little bit of a public service announcement there, and I'll wrap up. And I will say once again, as always, if you're watching this and you aren't subscribed, like about 75-80% of you who are watching this, please do hit that subscribe button. It costs you nothing, and it will increase my reach on the channel as well. I am very close to 15,000 subscribers at this point. I won't get it before the end of the year, I don't think, with the current trend of my subscribers, but I'm hoping in at least within the first few months of next year I should be at 15,000 subscribers. But you can help that, and as I say, you can do it for free, and it doesn't hurt anybody. So thanks once again for watching, and I will see you probably after Christmas. So I will wrap up and say happy Christmas to everybody. I will, as I say, I'll try and get out as many videos as I can over the Christmas period, but don't be too expectant, just simply because there is quite a lot going on family wise, you know, visiting people and things. But I will try and get some hobby updates out, and I'll probably at least show you some of the hobby stuff that I got over Christmas, that kind of stuff, the usual thing, a roundup after that. And I'll see you when I see you. Thanks for watching.